Raleigh Thornton, Thornton Esquire Law Group here. I want to talk to you all about what do you do when the insurance company calls you after you have an accident. All right, so one of the first things that I do is I tell my clients, don't give statements. We don't give recorded statements to insurance companies, to the other drivers' insurance companies. So sometimes they'll call you all right after the accident, but don't give a statement. What we do is we would suggest that you all contact an attorney if you think that the other person is at fault and that you're injured. And so we just ask that is something that you all do. And it's not to try to hide anything, it's just to make sure that your case has been analyzed before you start making statements and giving positions and what have you. We have a lot of clients who say that they're not even injured at the same time where they still having some kind of pain in their neck or headaches, but they tell the insurance company they weren't injured because they think, oh, I wasn't injured because I didn't go in an ambulance, or I didn't have to go in an ambulance, so I'm not that hurt. But then a day or 2 days later, they can't hardly get out of their bed, and so I would say that they were injured. But guess what? The recording on the insurance company's recording is going to say that you weren't hurt. So you're going to have a battle because you're going to need to get yourself taken care of. If you get out, you get in the bed and you can't hardly get out the bed, you need to have some medical attention, and you're going to have some treatment and some medical bills. You may not even be able to work if you can't hardly walk and figure out what's going on with you. So who's to say what's going on? You know, our body is something that's fragile, and we don't really even know. Once we're injured and once we're hit like that, we don't know really what's going on with us. We have to figure it out. So don't get on the phone and start spilling your guts about everything about the accident. Contact an attorney if you think that you're hurt, even in the slightest. So that is very important. And again, that's one of the main reasons why I would say not to, is because sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen in the next few days or next week. Okay. So that's what I would say for that. Now, the other thing is that sometimes you have to give a statement to your own insurance company, but that doesn't mean that you have to give it to them the next day, okay, or the next 2 days. So you still got to do some evaluation there. Example: had a client that in a hit and run situation. Now, for hit and run accidents, you have to have an impact, and you have to have some kind of touching or brushing or some sort. And so if somebody comes near you but they don't actually hit you, it's like a near miss, and then it causes you to do something. If they leave the scene and you hit the concrete median as a result of them coming a 1/10 of an inch from you, and they don't even touch you, or you don't know whether they touched you or not, let's say that. Okay, so, and they go on about their business, and you tell your insurance company, oh, they didn't even touch me, but they caused me to run into the median. Well, your uninsured motorist coverage is not going to be applicable because you've told them that you weren't even touched. So that's why it's important to talk to an attorney first before you start giving statements to anybody. And so I had another case. So what we did was at first she thought she wasn't hit by the other driver, but then when she inspected her vehicle, upon close inspection, she saw that it was some damage to the one side of her vehicle and to the other. And so at first she told me that the car didn't hit her. And so if she had given a statement before realizing that and rationalizing that, then we would have been fighting really hard about it. So, but because we were able to talk to her and figure it out, we were able to get them to pay that coverage to make sure she was taken care of. Anyway, if y'all have any similar concerns, any other kind of questions, anything y'all want to share, feel free to reach out. Thanks. Bye-bye.